This morning, the news broke in Wisconsin when Jeff Flock reported it to our viewers that Ford Motor Company announced that it is going to open a brand new plant in Mexico. Well, Donald Trump has just released a statement regarding this. Of course, Donald Trump has been very outspoken, often slamming Ford for doing what Ford has done for about 91 years now, and that is manufacture certain parts and cars in Mexico. But this in from Donald Trump just now. Quote, "This transaction is an absolute disgrace. Our dishonest politicians and the special interests that control them are laughing in the face of all American citizens. These ridiculous job-crushing transactions will not happen when I am president." Okay, so how do these issues affect those who come out on top tonight? I'm joined by former Democratic Governor of Wisconsin, Jim Doyle. There are a couple of issues that we need to tackle here. Namely, that Wisconsin, which manufactures a lot, you guys have a bigger manufacturing base than you do even in agriculture, so it's not just cheese and everything else there. You guys make a lot of stuff there. What did you think about what the president said today and what Donald Trump is saying in reaction to what Ford and other companies are doing?
Well, both of those comments are going to ring very, very true in Wisconsin, that has lost major auto plants over the last 10 years. And so there's a strong, strong feeling that these trade agreements have, and the corporations leaving have not worked to our advantage. It's interesting to me on the president's comment, I'll just say, this really does show where the political system is largely broken, that the president has agreed that we need to lower corporate tax to avoid this. Republicans say they agree with that, and yet we cannot get Congress to do that because of the political posturing that goes on. So it's a good example of the frustration that people have. But I do think in this final day of the campaign politically, this is kind of a gift to Donald Trump, because it's what he's been going around the state saying for a number of weeks, and fits very much into the narrative that runs very, very deep in this state.
Well, especially when you look at what you've lost, you can also conversely look at why you guys have a work shortage. You have worker shortage because there are 88,000 jobs. Neil Cavuto had a great interview today with the Attorney General, I believe, of the state of Wisconsin, and she said, look, we've got 88,000 jobs listed on the free job site in the state of Wisconsin, and more immigrants, legal immigrants, would be more helpful. So who does that benefit as far as candidates are concerned?
Well, I think a lot of that is what are those jobs, and there's no doubt Wisconsin is a strong manufacturing state. I personally believe international trade is absolutely essential to our manufacturing base. We make very sophisticated, highly technical, highly engineered products, big cranes, GE medical equipment. Much of our agricultural commodities are exported. So we're in a, but it is hard, no doubt, in this time to sell the idea that
which
international
candidate,
trade is
if I
helpful.
could just push an answer to my question, which candidate comes out in front when it comes to those issues that you've articulated for the state of Wisconsin?
Well, what's so interesting in Wisconsin, and we've seen it nationally, but even more so, the Republican candidate, Donald Trump, is sounding even more Bernie Sanders than Bernie Sanders is on this issue. So I think it's Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump, whereas people who understand what a complicated issue this is and how there are pluses and minuses, Hillary Clinton I would put into that category, find it much harder to make that message. That all being said, it's going to be very, very close in Wisconsin. And I think there's some chance Hillary Clinton will win, but I think most people expect it will be Bernie Sanders will win, and that the delegates will split relatively evenly, and the circus will leave town tomorrow and off to New York. And we had an exciting week, but the show will move on.
Well, in the last 7 presidential general elections, Wisconsin has gone Democrat. Do you expect that to be the same this time? I know you are endorsing Hillary Clinton. I don't mean that to be a softball question. I'd like an honest answer to it, especially considering it's very tough for a single party to win a 3rd presidency.
Well, that's true, but we have, ever since Ronald Reagan's 2nd term, we have voted for the Democratic candidate for president, and particularly if it's Donald Trump or Ted Cruz, I don't see any reason that Hillary Clinton wouldn't win Wisconsin quite easily.
Great to see you, Governor. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks, Liz.